Hello and welcome back. Today's episode is going to be a little bit different than what we have planned for the future. But since it was the very first person that ever submitted a deal for us to analyze, we have decided that we want to proceed with that person. So we've received a request from Tim Fielder. Um, his In the deal tab, he said, "I do not have one," and he wrote, "Hi, I just graduated, making 55,000 and have 30,000 saved for a down payment. I'm looking for my first house in Charlotte. Can you help me? TIA." All right. As mentioned, the expectation for this channel is that we receive like a specific address or Zillow link, and we can analyze that for you. But since he was the very first person that ever submitted a deal, we will go ahead and do this. This can also help you guys a little bit to look yourself for real estate deals. So since he's just starting out with $55,000, I went to Zillow first and I checked the affordability calculator. Let me check again. He said down payment he has 30,000 saved. So according to Zillow, this is the affordability that we can go to with a maximum, which is debt to income to 50% already. With an FHA, we can probably strive for a little bit higher. But all right, my favorite website to look for real estate is Redfin, Charlotte, North Carolina. Um, just because they give you an option to add um, the flood plain in the calculator, which is extremely important, especially in coastal regions, but everywhere in the US, you should always consider the floodplain. All right, for him, as we are a real estate investor website, so we're trying to make something for profit. I assume that's what he wants. There's not really too much context in his message, but so he's just starting out. So I'm going back to the Real Estate Duke website and the deal analysis. He's not buying or buy and hold investment. He's not doing the Burr strategy. He's more looking for like a house hack. So even it could be a duplex, triplex, or quadplex, and he lives in one of the units, or it could be just a house with multiple units. So I'm gonna bring up this calculator right now, and there we have it. So these are purchase price, bedrooms. So this is considering the bedrooms, but could also be a duplex. So for right now, what I would want to do first is I want to have a lot of bedrooms, at least five, and at least two bathrooms to make this somewhat bearable. All right, and then when I do this from here, I would want to then sort this by the lowest price. I'm not really looking for a flip right now, but all right, so this is what we have. Let's see, those two significantly higher square footage. So I do like both of those units. We can ignore the new constructions. A lot of baths, which is nice, but already at the front looks like there's some repairs needed. Location is pretty good. Let's see, here's the airport. Okay. I'm not too familiar with Charlotte. I've been there a couple times, but it's like not that I would know out of the top of my head what is safe and what is not safe. But it's definitely also something to still consider for Bath. Make this really a good deal. If he really decides to go hardcore, live in one room and rent out four bedrooms, keep one bathroom for himself. At least the other four people have three bathrooms to spare, which is good. But 1,800 square feet is tight. So personally, I would probably go with something along those lines if I would want to. Oh, okay. This is not livable. Okay, understood. Let's see where we are here. Okay, this looks much better. Two bathrooms is rough for five bedrooms. So let's go through the pictures, see what we got. This does look honestly not so bad. It is tight, but I do like it's a pretty big lot. So what I'm talking about was here, if you click here and then you click on flood, it will draw in the floodplain, and this is exactly why I say this is relevant. So this has a FEMA floods on X unshaded as a low to moderate risk. So there is from FEMA already a moderate risk assigned. For that being said, my suggestion would be to walk away from this property as it seems it's literally just sitting in the floodplain. The flood levels will continue to rise. I personally do not risk that. So it looks like it's at the bottom of a hill. We can go to the street view, see if this is something where we can see. Does not look terrible, honestly. Looks like it's going up a hill. The lower section might still be impacted. Okay. Not sure. Not sure about this one. I don't like the floodplain. So let's go back to this one. So where are we here? This is okay. I know that this is a good area. I know this is a desirable area. I'm not familiar with the things up here, but let's see. Okay, first things first. We go look at the floodplain. Okay, minimal. This is what you want to see. This is our price. Let's look at the house. Looks a little dated, but that's okay. Small bedrooms. Nothing fancy. Looks like they did a garage conversion to a bedroom, which is okay. Okay. I think this is not a bad contender. It also is cheap. It's pretty old. Been on the market for a little bit, so it might be able to even haggle a bit on the price. 43 days, I would want to offer 300,000 to start off with, and then hope to settle somewhere between 305 and 310. But let's see what we got. Generally, I would also look at the schools. Doesn't look like it's the best schools. With that being said, this is not something to live in forever, and therefore I think it is still okay for a first investment. All right, so we have the stats. This is what we're gonna go with. The only thing that really needs to be considered, 2 bathrooms for 5 people. If you all have identical schedules, it's gonna be pretty tough. So I would definitely pay attention to that during the roommate selection. So this is our deal, 317. Let's say we get a discount for $10,000. Okay, so we go back to Real Estate Duke. You're in the house hacking calculator. So 307. So $10,000 off. We have 5 bedrooms. Rent per bedroom. I really don't know. So how much can you rent a bedroom? 800 to 1400. Give me a median. No, that's not what I want. Don't need a 1 bedroom apartment. This thing's 239. Let's just be on the lower end and say, including all utilities, we do $1,000. So current rent, I don't know how much he paid right now. Maybe he lives with his parents. So I'm just gonna take that out for now. Financing, right now we're unfortunately at a 7%. Down payment is gonna be 30,000. realistic operating costs. Internet, water, electric, lawn care, he's going to do himself. Termite and pest. Yeah, termite bomb, not a bad idea. Pair reserve, this automatically calculates based on the purchase price, so I would just leave those two as is. If you have a HOA, don't see one. Property taxes, this might be on the higher side. I don't think it's gonna be quite that much, but let's see. All right, so we're gonna calculate. So the mortgage payment is gonna be that. That's the PMI, including water, electric, internet, everything. The total monthly expenses will be $3,040, and his rental income will be 4,000. So that means every month he's going to make $959 from renting out those bedrooms. So even if he decides to rent out only 3 bedrooms, he's still going to only pay like $40 a month in rent. So this is exactly where the house hacking comes in as powerful, as you can see now down a little bit further. So saving compared to before, I mean, didn't really have much savings. It's still more expensive than what he had before. But yeah, um, yeah. So the cash on cash return, we see 38.38%, which means on the 30,000 that he invested, he's making this much every month, which is a 38% return, which is amazing. And then equity gain in the first year, 2,800. This is probably only from the loan down payment. Total return on investment is profitable from year one. As you can see here, this is how it stacks up. The cumulative cash flow is just huge amount of cash that he's going to be making, especially in the long run. But even if you just run this for, let's say, 3 to 4 or 5 years, so let's say he keeps this house for 5 years, his net he's gonna make $1,400 a month just from this house, and then that's the time he can just move out, rent out the whole house, and buy something else, take the equity out, and keep this deal running. And annualized return on investment after 4 years was still at around 38%. Um, so definitely an amazing opportunity for him if he's willing to go. And now the easiest, if you just go down one to do 4 bedrooms and just recalculate. So let's say he keeps one open as a spare bedroom. We go back to year one. Even with that, where it says now it's an okay deal. As you can see, his monthly cost now, he has to pay rent every month. So his cost is $3,040, and it's gonna only bring him in from the rental income 3,000. That means he's gonna have to pay $40 in rent, which is still amazing for the fact that you're living in your own house and you're generating equity. 2,800 the first year from the loan down payment, but then also, of course, you have depreciation of the property, which is just like stacking up. In 30 years, 400,000 in appreciation expected with 3% increase, and then the cumulative loan down payment, which is also exponentially increasing, and then great cash flow over the years. So with all that being said, that will bring him in over $1 million if he keeps that for 30 years, if he were to live in that same scenario. Obviously, probably in 2 to 3, 4, 5 years, he might be wanting to move in his own house or in his own apartment, however, but this is a great deal that I would go with. So, Tim, my recommendation for you is I would look into this house first. 1315 Tom Hunter Road, Charlotte. Um, I would reach out to a realtor. If you don't have one, you can always use Redfin here. I think you can schedule something down here. Generally, they also give you discounts. So whenever, so you can start an offer or request a showing here. When the properties have been on the market for a little bit, they can give you a discount of the provision that they're seeing, which helps you a lot. Um, but from a first perspective, this would be my suggestion to check out in Charlotte. Okay. With that, I say thank you. Please let me know in the comments if you like this kind of information. Maybe we can do this kind of style videos in a more often if this is what you guys want to see instead of you submitting a deal, us finding one for you. That also works. So just let me know in the comments below. And if you like this video, please leave a thumbs up. I appreciate it. Thanks.